The music entertainment industry, especially in the realm of modern songs, is renowned for its ability to captivate audiences with immersive visual and auditory spectacles. In this scenario, contemporary songs have reached a surprising global level, attracting fans of various age groups with their catchy rhythms. This sphere of music continues to thrive in the market for several decades. But is there a lesser-known facet behind this? Is the success of these songs due only to their rhythm? Or are there secret agreements behind it? In today's video, I will explore these hidden aspects of the world of modern songs without leaving anything out. If you are curious about what lies behind the curtains of the music industry beyond what is apparent, join me until the end. And before we proceed, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel. It's simple and free. Just click the subscribe button and the bell next to it, selecting the all option so you don't miss any videos. So let's go. You may have noticed that modern popular songs have a positive effect on our brain, mainly due to their repetitive rhythmic structure. The songs that dominate the rankings are those that can provoke feelings of happiness and euphoria in listeners. However, not everything that is attractive is necessarily positive, and this less visible side is not limited to sensuality and provocative lyrics. There is something more behind the scenes that the general public usually does not see, and it is not surprising that many of these songs carry negative and transgressive messages. In this video, we will not focus on sensual lyrics or the hidden symbols often found in this musical genre, such as the all-seeing eye, nor on allusions to the supernatural. Today, we will talk about the deeper and less perceived aspects of this industry. Have you noticed how many popular singers undergo significant transformations in their appearance and style when entering this market? Many start with an innocent and romantic image, but why do they change so much over their careers? The modern music industry seems to require its stars to lose their innocence as part of a larger plan. The goal is not just to make them more attractive, but to shock the audience with a new persona. Strategies for this include recording a music video that presents this new identity, as artists like Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus have done, to radical visual changes, like Katy Perry's haircut to mark the beginning of a new phase. Other artists follow this pattern, alternating between deconstructions and rebirths, with exotic videos, provocative clothes, new names, new hairstyles, and even tattoos symbolizing a transformation. This raises the question of how, by approaching the demands of the industry, artists may be moving away from more spiritual and authentic values. The bolder and more provocative the artist becomes, the more he may distance himself from his audience's preferences. With this, fans have two options: to stop following the artist or to fall even more in love with this new persona. The transformation required by the music industry to ensure success implies a radical change in the singer's personality, as if going from water to wine. This phenomenon can be described as a domino effect, where one change leads to another, deeply affecting followers who begin to mirror the characteristics of the artist they admire. This process goes beyond simply producing and selling music. It's about influencing, from a new musical rhythm to a new lifestyle. The audience ends up being shaped according to this new standard, a phenomenon that can be called the New Age. In the context of pop singers, the question arises: are they closer to their true essence, or are they moving away from their authenticity to ensure success in this industry? We are not here to judge, but to reflect. If all these pop artists go through a process of depersonalization to stay in the industry, this raises serious questions. In the last century, Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, spoke about the loss of identity in the name of conformity with an industry. According to him, when a person is divided between two paths, they end up creating a new identity to not lose anything. This seems to reflect what happens with many pop artists, an attempt to maintain relevance without losing their essence, which ironically can lead to the loss of both. Another aspect to question is who really commands the backstage of this industry. Are they the hidden powers of the world, or the magnates who profit enormously with each success released? Some believe that there is a spiritual dynamic operating behind the curtains of this industry, influencing not only artists, but also the audience. The belief that dark spiritual forces influence the material world is ancient, and many believe that this phenomenon extends to the music industry. According to this view, there is a connection between sin, occultism, and demons, and many contemporary popular songs would be consecrated to supernatural entities. Some pop artists have even expressed having made pacts with dark forces to achieve a success and fame. Regardless of whether such claims are real or metaphorical, the main argument is that following morally questionable paths does not require a demonic appearance, but only actions that align with such ideals. It is suggested that the sensual and hidden lyrics of these songs, combined with stimulating beats, can open portals to negative influences in people's lives. The music industry is seen as a network of influence that goes beyond producers and artists, reaching listeners. The central question, then, is who is behind this powerful industry? It is argued that, if it were not for the artist's desire to transcend themselves, this industry would not have prospered. Pop artists, by adopting standards that sell, are, in a way, renouncing their own identity in favor of a more commercial image. The biblical story of Samson and Delilah is used as a metaphor to illustrate this dynamic. Samson, a man consecrated to God from birth, had a vow never to cut his hair, a symbol of his covenant with God and source of his strength. When Delilah, whom he fell in love with, betrays him and cuts his hair, Samson loses his strength. This story is compared to the trajectory of pop artists who, to stay on top, may have to give up the secrets of their strength. That is, renounce their true identity and values in favor of success and fame. Thus, the parallel drawn between Samson and pop artists suggests a loss of authenticity in exchange for material benefits and recognition, a trade that can have profound implications for both artists and their followers. When thinking about the influence of the music industry and its relationship with the loss of identity and spiritual values, other biblical examples are mentioned to reinforce this idea. Characters like Solomon and King Saul are cited as those who, at some point, abandoned their true identities and values in pursuit of fame, power, or other worldly gratifications. The video emphasizes that it is not worth gaining the whole world at the expense of one's soul. This metaphorical trait of selling the soul is not necessarily seen in the literal sense of satanic pacts, but rather as a metaphor for sacrificing values and integrity in exchange for fame and recognition. The message is a call to reflection on the choice between influencing and being influenced, emphasizing the importance of choosing positive influences. David is presented as an example of someone who, despite his mistakes, strived to please God, valuing his relationship with the divine more than his worldly reputation. Jesus Christ is cited as the supreme example of positive influence, someone who renounced his own divine glory to serve and save others. This emphasis on following Christ's example suggests a life of humility, service, and renunciation of selfish desires in favor of God's will. The pop music industry is portrayed as a powerful force that shapes culture and influences the masses, often in ways that are not aligned with spiritual or ethical values. The final message is a call to holiness and the pursuit of a life that pleases God, rejecting carnal desires in favor of a life of service and love for others, as exemplified by Christ. Thank you so much for joining us in today's video. Your thoughts, questions, and reflections on today's topic are invaluable to us. Please share them in the comments below.